I do it in Philly, in my hometown. So really get things started off here. So this kind of what? This kind of goes from here? Okay, good. So we're not going to get we're not going to get into the whole who's this alien, who's that alien thing. Let me know when the camera's running because I want to really get this going here.
No problem. I'll edit everything.
Editing's fine. Okay. So
You're good whenever.
I'm ready now. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Good. My name is Paul Wesley. A lot of people know me as Truth Chaser. I've been abducted since the age of 6 years old, and I decided to speak out on my abductions on multiple radio shows. And it's a blessing, and it's a really good thing to be able to speak not only in front of my hometown, in front of everyone here that has been abducted, that has had these experiences, because we have to understand what is going on, A, how we can change things, B, and what we can do to empower ourselves, to empower other people, to make things better than the way things are going. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go here, and he can edit everything. So this is obviously my first presentation. So what I want to look at here is photos. Okay. So we're back up here. Okay. I'm not really used to doing this.
Should be on the left.
No, it's fine. I have this. Everything's good. Abduction. Everything can be edited, but what I'm going to do is really reach the group and, well, let's go with this. We are not helpless. This right here says it all, okay? We are not helpless. And a lot of us, especially myself, being 6 years old and having a big-eyed being come in front of me and scaring the living heck out of me really makes me feel like I'm helpless. But this says we are not helpless. Now, through my abduction experiences, I've learned one thing. Number one, I felt powerless at the time. I felt. Go ahead.
How many times have you been abducted?
A lot of times. I would say, I don't know. Wow.
Like a few times a year?
Huh?
Like a few times a year, or just like spread out over your years?
Yeah, it usually came in dream state.
Yeah.
Through like when I would go to see, and we have to understand with these beings, with the Zetas and the Soul Greys, which I'm going to get into. I mean, I have had multiple contacts with reptilian shapeshifters, which I really want to get into. I don't even think 3 hours will cover this. Okay? So what I want to get into is not only my experiences, your experiences, but how, again, we can empower ourselves, and I'm going to get into that, how we can empower ourselves to change our lives, to empower our lives, okay? So, we are not helpless. What that basically means is, okay, we may have been abducted, we may have been taken, but we're not powerless. We have to ask ourselves, why have we been taken? Why have these beings, regardless who they are, decided, I'm going to take Susie, I'm going to take Jimmy, I'm going to take Tommy, I'm going to take we have to ask ourselves, like, who made you the, the leader that, who gave you the energy to say you're going to take us, okay? So, and then again, what do we have that they want to take? Because that's a, go ahead, Dave. DNA, exactly. But even with DNA, it comes to the, the ideology. We are not helpless, okay? They want something that we have, all right? They want your DNA. They want my DNA. So, and we're gonna.
It occurred to me recently. I think it might be something smaller than that.
Okay, and here we go. So you have the right to say no. Now, a lot of people here may not agree with this. A lot of people say, well, I have, an abduction experience. I have, a mark on my arm or a mark on my side. I have a mark right now on the back of my left knee that I'm more than happy to show everyone that I have from my abduction experiences. And we do have a right to say no. So I'm going to back up here. You have the right to say no. What that means is self-empowerment, okay? We are universal beings. We have the right to say, all right, fine, you know, you want to take us, but we have the right to say no. And that begs the question, again, why are they taking us? So let's see. Let's see why they're taking us. So let's see here. Self-empowerment. This is probably the most important thing I will ever say in this, you know, in this presentation. Self-empowerment. What does someone tell me what self-empowerment means? Anybody? Come on. This isn't just me talking. I want to hear. We're all abductees, obviously. What does self-empowerment mean? You, sir. Stick up, please.
You're in power of yourself. Nobody can hurt you.
Absolutely. Anyone else? What does self-empowerment mean?
The right to bargain for your life.
Right. You, sir, over there.
Knowledge. To
Knowledge.
handle any particular situation that may come your way.
Now that being said, you know, it seems to me that what is being happening is self-empowerment has been being taken. Okay? So what's going on is that people have been microchipped, people have been, you know, implanted. Now, as a young child, when I was abducted, I thought it was, you know, okay. You know, you see these. I mean, I came from a really bad abusive childhood. I mean, really bad. My dad was a 6'7" monster. So when I get into reptilians and not even the little zetas, because I consider them like, you know, workers. But when I get into the reptilians, you know, or the big zetas, you know, I really consider them. You know, compared to what my dad did to me and my family, you know, when I seen them, it was kind of like, wow, you know, it wasn't a big, it was scary, but it wasn't a big deal. And then there became a point, I joined the National Guard. I joined the Army National Guard. They shot me up in my thigh with the, what the hell was that? The, I don't know what shot it was. They shot it over like 10 shots. I think it was the, I forget the exact name, but they shot us over 10 shots. They said, look, we're going to shoot you up, you're going to go to boot camp, you're going to do your job. And I said, look, this isn't what this is about. Like, I'm going to expose you guys for your underground bases. I'm going to expose you for, you know, not giving full exposure on the UFOs and what's going on. And I get the shit kicked out of me. The lieutenant pulled me to the side. He said, listen, Private. I said, what? He said, who are you? I said, well, I'm someone who consciously believes that what you're doing is wrong, okay? What you're about is wrong, okay? And he said, we're going to put you in a special room. The lieutenant and two other gentlemen decided that they were going to make it a part of their agenda to beat me, okay? And they beat me, and they beat me, and they beat me. And they said, Mr. Wesley, they said, you're going to be discharged, all right? And I met a girl who was discharged with me. I can't give her name for legal reasons and for respect reasons. I talk about this on every radio show I've ever been on. So, you know, youtube.com/PrinceTrueChaser, you guys can check that out. I met her. I'm coming out of an Army situation where I'm very depressed. I'm getting discharged. I have a 17-year-old daughter, okay? And I have a 6-year-old who I'm a single father of right now, who I literally live with right now. I raised her myself. And she was in the process of being born. So it was like kind of like, okay, whatever the hell I have to do, I have to get out of here, you know, and get with my family. We had ACU uniforms, alternate combat uniforms. And you can tell I'm not full of shit because I'm actually getting into what the name of the uniforms are speaking. So we had hats, and in the back of our hats we had pouches. As I was being discharged, I met a girl who was the most beautiful woman I've ever met, and still to this day the most beautiful woman I've ever met. And this will get into, you know, your experiences. I met her and she smiled at me. She said, everything's gonna be okay. I said, okay, cool. So we would pass notes back and forth. And as I was being discharged, she said, listen, you're going to a plane to Philly. I said, yeah. She goes, nah, you're not. You're going to go to a hotel with me, you know? So I went on a hotel with her, and she shape-shifted. And what I mean by shape-shifted, reptilian beings or high energy beings, we see through what's called light. Like as this projector, it sees through light right here, okay? We see through light, alright? When they're aroused, either through anger or through arousal, they can shapeshift. When I was having intercourse with well, I'm on top of her, so it would be her left leg and her left arm. It shapeshifted on me, okay? So I was like, wow, and I had this overwhelming feeling of, and I'm not going to candy coat things, I was being used.
Did she turn into a reptile?
Yes, yes.
So you were having sex with a reptile?
I was having sex with a reptile, yes. I had the overwhelming feeling that I was being used, okay? Now, when this happened, she drove me from Virginia back to Philadelphia. Now, at this time, I just left the Army. I just was getting the foot pretty much wet in, ufology and what I was about and my abduction experiences. And, I wasn't just like worldwide status, like, hey, I'm on every radio show type of thing, And I didn't talk to this woman until I made a video. It was on the Delaware River, okay? It was on the Delaware River. It was called First Contact. And it was about first contact, how when first contact happens, that what's going to happen is that all these beings that come from underground, all these beings that, want to say they're good are going to come up and say, wow, we're your savior, we're this, you're that, we implant things in your brain, we are your saviors. I made a video about this. And I had got contacted by this girl who I wanted to I thought it was seriously insane when this had happened to me, okay? I'm crazy, okay? Because at this time, I'm in the Occupy Philly and this, but in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, like, I seen a woman turn into something that I wasn't, supposed to see. So as I started maturing in not only accepting who we are as beings, humanity, not only accepting as who we are, who other beings are, she came to me and she said, Paul. And I said, what? And she said, listen, I had a child by you, and I love you so much.
Was it a reptile?
You're so funny. So I love the fact that you just blur out questions, because I'm like, I have the same energy, I do the same thing. But yes, it was. She says to me, she said, Paul, what if I was what you're fighting against? I sat down, and I said to myself, I said, hon, I said, listen, as long as you're positive, okay? As long as you're not against humanity, we live on a planet with 7-8 billion people, okay? We all deserve to live here. I don't care if you're a hybrid, I don't care if you're a Arcturian, I don't care if you're a Reptoid, I don't care. We all, if we live in love vibration, we all have the option to live here, okay? So, and I told her that. And she said, Paul, there were 6 times that you should have died, that you didn't. These beings that you're fighting against, these others, this and this, were protecting me. And at the time, I had no clue what she was talking about. Until I went to Miami, and this happened recently. I went to Miami. I'm on the top of my game, so they say. I went to Miami, and I said, well, I'm going to do this and do this and do this. And I got jumped in Miami. Lost a lot of blood in Miami. And I was... The funny thing with me was, when I was in Miami, I was taken in a stretcher, okay? And they stuck me in a hallway, which was completely freaking weird. And I was stuck in the hallway, and then from there, they monitored me. They took me in the surgery. They said, oh, I said, what? They said, well, we're going to do surgery on your face, because my whole face is completely destroyed. And I'm in and out of consciousness, and anyone who's been abducted, you know what it feels like to see that light and the beams on top of you, okay? And I just got up, I started swinging. I mean, that's what I did. That's naturally was my instinct. I'm like, no, not again. This is bullshit. I'm either A, dead, or B, I'm seeing shit that I shouldn't see. And I made it out of it, they said they wanted to put morphine in me. I said, no, you're not putting morphine in my lungs. Just give me the pain. I grabbed onto the chair. I started cursing out the surgeon. And I took it, okay? I took it. She sent me a message. She said, Paul, we were there for you. She said, you have to understand there are more than one xenotypes. There are more than one tall grades. There are more than different reptilians, okay? There are positive ones and negative ones. We saved your ass. And I want to give her props. God, I love her so much, but like, I can't, it's so hard to get into, but I can't. Because I want to say, I seen you and what I seen was beautiful, because it was beautiful. Because I don't think they're all like it. But there's a lot of them that are. And I think what's happening is, oh wow, you know, I've been taken since the age of 6. I remember having, when I'm holding the, the street lights, and you guys have the same experience, and you're floating up, and you don't want to let go, and then you let go, and you're in the ship. I've had it, and just to be able to have that experience with her and see her shapeshift. I thought I was crazy for years until she sent me the message. She said, Paul, look, I'm getting married. I love you, unconditionally. But we saved your ass on 6 occasions. She's like, you just came back from Miami. I said, yeah. She's like, she would tell me, see, the thing with these beings are they can telepathically, mentally connect with us, okay? And this is no bullshit. And I'm saying this again, bullshit, okay? Because if you look at my YouTube channel and you look at the work I do, what I'm going to do, I'm raw. I'm real, and that's why the people like how I am, okay? There's no bullshit. They can read our minds, okay? They can telepathically know what we think, what we feel. And she said, Paul, when you were in Miami, we saved you. We want you alive. We see the way you're going, but you're going the wrong way. Go towards the light. Go towards love vibration. Okay? Fight the bad ones. Fight the bad ones. But fucking expose the evil ones. But bring to light the good ones, okay? And that's what she wanted to make a point to me. And that's what I want to do today. I don't believe in bashing my parents, because obviously my mom's deceased, okay? My dad did the best he could, alright? Come on, nobody? Anybody? What about the pyramids?
Well, you said the Hawaiian people?
Hawaiian people.
Lemurian.
Oh?
They're
The Lyrians?
Lemurian.
Lemurians.
Lemurian. That from what I know, Hawaii is part of the
Sure.
one Lemurian.
Now, the last abduction experience that I've had was with the feline race. Now people say, okay, well the Pleiadians look like us, oh my god, they're so, human looking. Who built the pyramids? The feline race, okay? Who did the ancient Egyptians worship? The cat gods. They said, if you ever harm a feline cat, who built the pyramid? The cat people. The last time I was abducted was, I was laying on the floor. I was living in Frankfurt, Huntington. And, I had my youngest daughter who I raised up by myself, and the tolls that came in, I said, no more. I got up swinging, I'm like, no more. Like, no more, you know what I mean? And I had a toll being here and a toll being here. Oh my God.
They're cat people.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Greys are cat people.
They were cat people. They were not the Greys. There was one that stood about 9 feet tall on each side. The one was darkish brown, the other one was white. And they stepped kind of in front of the tall Zeta, and the tall Zeta disappeared. Completely disappeared. Now what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm on a path of self-empowerment, maybe? To spread love and light? To say, hey look, people who have been abducted have a right to say, hey look, there is a choice. We can say no. We have the power to literally say, I have been implanted, but I want to rip it out. And I want to empower other people to empower themselves. That's what I think that I've been empowered with. After that experience with the cat people I have had, I was taken to an altar. People that are in Masonic and this and that, and Illuminati, I don't know, but I was taken to an altar. This blue flame, all blue flame. And I was taken by these 2 huge beings. And I was taken to, I guess it would be an altar with, I don't know, 6, candle here, candle here, candle here. It's gonna be 6, 6, 6, a shitload of candles. And the two beings that took me, as soon as they took me, I thought, oh my God, here I am looking with these editors, you know, they're taking my free will. And I looked up and I seen the feline race who came to my house. And immediately I started crying. Immediately I started crying. I mean, tears just dropped from my eyes, you know? And I said, wow. And what broke my heart the most was the one feline looked at me and he went like this. This is what broke my heart. He went, shook his head, no. He's not ready. He is not ready. And that is why I do what I do today. This is why I do activism. This is why I do universalism. And this is why I do ufology. Because I feel that I haven't earned my spot. I haven't earned my spot in a higher conscious level to be where they're at. You know, did they save my ass? Absolutely. Did they give me a chance to say, hey, you might have a chance to be among us. You may have a chance to save people who've been adopted, to save people who need to say not all beings are evil? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I'm here today. So let's see what else we have here. So we have self-empowerment, obviously. Okay. Understanding you're not powerless, all right? Understanding you're not powerless. And I think that is a core factor to a lot of abductees. I mean, when a lot of people like myself and you guys who have been abducted, you feel like you're powerless. There's nothing you can do. You know, you may come to this group and talk stuff to me and talk stuff to the host. What does that mean? You still have to go home, you're still going to be abducted, okay? So, understanding you're not powerless. And understand that you're not powerless. Understand that anyone, and I want to say this, and I'm going to be real about this, because a lot of you aren't going to agree with me here. It's because microchips, maybe it's because you're comfortable with being abducted. I really don't care, okay? Understand that you are not powerless. These beings who take us are taking our free will, our galactic free will. Now, that may bother you. That may bother you, okay? You may think that you're here and you see the earth blowing up, and you may think that you're here to come and wake up the masses. Bullshit.
We're giving up our free will.
Our free will has been taken. I didn't consent to anything, so I'm not giving up anything. Okay?
Most
So
people
they are understanding you're not powerless. Even though they took our free will, we have the power to regain that free will, to empower ourselves. They want our DNA for a reason. They take us from our comfortable environments for a reason. Because we have something that they don't have. Okay? We have DNA. We have free will. Alright? So to say, they take us, they take my eggs, they take my sperm, and I met my hybrid child, which I'm going to get into. I met him in New York City when I was my last protest in New York City. I met him in New York City. I talked about this on a radio show. So again, understand you are not powerless. All right. So now we're going to see what we have here. All right. How can I stop abductions? How can I stop abduction? Any one of you who know about self-empowerment right now, how can you stop abduction? You start. Hold on a second, because everyone's doing the show. So
I've done lucid dreaming, you know,
you've done lucid dreaming.
and when I go into a dream,
Sure.
I go in power.
Okay.
I'm aware of what I'm doing
Sure.
in my dream, you know, and I can control what
Right.
happens.
Now, how long has it took you to control your dreams?
It took me a while.
Took you a while, absolutely. Now you start in the back. How can we Obviously, stop abduction.
I'm just saying, I haven't been abducted, but
Okay.
both my father and his father claimed that they have been. So
Sure.
I was gonna think maybe it's like a mental thing, like if
Sure.
you're at a good enough vibration where you don't allow these types of things to affect you, you know, maybe that could stop it. That's the only thing I could think of.
Anyone else? Chris.
A lot of people, they could claim they say the name of Jesus and the aliens run away. I don't believe that personally, but that's what people have said to me.
Sure. Right. Anyone else? Anyone else know anything about self-empowerment? How they may think we can stop abductions?
Well, it
Anybody?
depends of who you're dealing with. It depends, and in a way, it depends on what your food preferences are.
Sure.
Because the deal here on Earth is if you're conducting meat and things like that, and you're a killer, then they're allowed to conduct you and use you as you do this the same to cows. That's like it's up to you. Whatever your choices are made here, they are allowed to treat you per those choices.
Sure. And you, sir?
Are you talking about the ones that are trying to harm
Any ones
or-
that you're in contact with? I mean,
Well, I
how
mean,
can the individual consciously stop abductions? How can
Well,
we?
most people feel they get harmed by them getting experimented on. But
Okay.
in my instance, they invite me to experience what they're doing.
So you think that they invite you?
Well, not everybody, I mean,
Well, in
Certain
an individual level, you think that they invite
certain,
you?
right, certain people that they pick, they
They
want to do
make
an
certain
experiment on,
deals
they
with
want
certain
to see what
people.
your body is and all that.
But
Sure.
the
Other
deal
ones-
you make, they interpret it very broadly.
But do you think as a conscious being that it's their, you know, their free will to say who gets picked and who doesn't get picked and who has the free will to get taken?
They're,
Or do you consider yourself a lab rat? So you just kind of like submissively say, okay, I give you my free will. I mean, how do you feel?
well, isn't that what our doctors do sometimes?
It doesn't make it right. I don't care.
No,
I don't care
no.
who doctors does anything. I mean,
Right.
our doctors do a lot of things. Lower genetic gene pool than you that you can take me and experiment on me.
Well, then you have to call on your angels and spirit guides.
Well, you know, and I heard that a
battle
lot.
that.
Absolutely, and I
That's
heard that a
right.
lot.
That's
But what about the people who don't have the mental capacity to call upon angels, who don't understand how the third eye works, who don't understand how the conscience works, who don't understand how the government and everything's tied in with this works?
We have to help them.
Oh, we do, and that's why I'm here today, my friend, and thank you for that. So we're gonna go to the next to the next PowerPoint. Okay. So, well, that's not it. No. Positive beings. Okay. So positive beings. Okay. So we can go into a lot of the negative things, and we've all been abducted, we've been probed, we've been pulled, we've been pushed. What about positive beings? All right. Okay. So there's a lot of people that say there's positive beings out there. They help us. They want to, help the earth. They want to help the environment. Anyone here? And this is what I love about being presentations. Anyone want to talk about positive beings? You, sir.
Well, every year and a half,
Sure.
I get sent up to see these beings. They're like 8, 9 feet tall.
Sure.
They're Nordic looking, like Swedish. They're real slender,
Right.
and they have silvery blue jumpsuits, like
Okay.
sparkly silvery blue jumpsuits.
All right.
And it's usually just a team that's trying to teach me something up there. And the one lady, this blonde-haired lady, she's in charge,
Right.
and she's a little taller than the other 3 males.
Right.
The other 3 males are like dirty brownish blonde hair, like we have here. But they're all well kept and groomed.
Have they ever give you messages of how they're helping us positively or no?
Well, it's sort of like my telepathy thing,
I mean, what have they said to you that they're going to help you mainly with?
Well, they were trying to teach me how to levitate.
Okay.
They had this, it looks like a gun, or it's not a gun, it's, I don't know what you call it, but they're trying to tell me it's used for defense and it's used for levitating.
Like a wand?
And the other 3 were showing me how you jump off a bridge to land softly like 30 feet below, about 30 feet, I don't know exactly what it was. But they're trying to teach me what this device does.
It sounds like a gravity manipulator.
exactly.
Localized gravity.
Have they said anything to you
Make force field
other than
for
yourself? I mean, other than yourself, have they said anything that would benefit the whole of humanity?
They didn't say anything, but what I'm getting at is something, it's like they're preparing certain people
Preparing certain people.
For some event or something's coming, or
Sure.
they try to teach certain individuals that want to learn
Right.
what they're teaching, but I only see them like every year and a half.
Have you ever questioned yourself and said to yourself, well, who gives them the right to prepare anybody? And who gives them the right to prepare anyone for any upcoming
Yes,
events?
I've had that question.
Who wants to
Can you
answer that
answer
question?
that
Go ahead,
Can you
you
answer
can answer that question.
That question that
Sure.
you just said.
Yeah.
Like, who,
Yeah.
what gives them the right to come down and
Well, what gives them the right to take someone's free will and say, I'm going to take your free will and to step in and say, I'm going to better you to better humanity? What gives them the right?
yeah, yeah. Does anybody have an answer to that?
Anybody? Come on. I can name about 60 because I can see hybrids and I know who is and who ain't supposed to be in this room right now. So, it is, yes, I can. Who said really? Who was the one who said really? Come on. Me who? You? Okay, so anyway, answer the question then. What gives them the right to come down and say that they have the right to say they can better humanity or they can better humanity? Come on.
I think certain, okay,
There is no right, it's lots of people that are abducted from what I've read and understand. Is
Okay.
You have no choice because they entrance you and you can't even move.
Sure.
And I've
So
heard
so
in
how do
some
you fight something like
cases,
that that's more intelligent?
So you have no choice, which basically means, and I want everyone to resonate with this, okay? You have no choice, which makes us no better than cattle, all right? But I think that we're better than cattle. I think that we have something that they want. Go ahead, my friend.
there are certain alien types that are in tune with God and with spirit guides and angels that they're working with.
Right.
It's not all the beings, it's just certain ones. There's good ones, there's not so good ones. And it all depends who you're in touch with.
Right.
Like I'm in touch, I feel, with the better half
Right.
because I haven't got harmed.
Right.
They just show me things, and then the other time as I'm in this space vehicle, it's like a bus. And they were showing, it's like a hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm looking out at the windows, and I can see space. Like it's
Right.
all planets and moons and all kinds
You
of
know,
things.
absolutely, and that brings me to the fact it's okay to have a positive experience.
What do you think's an alien hybrid?
It's okay to have a positive experience, okay?
Who's the alien hybrids?
Who's that? Who are the alien hybrids?
Yeah, in this room. You said they were in this room.
Well, you want to pinpoint people?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not here to pinpoint people,
Why you
but
say?
I think you're one.
I'm an alien hybrid.
Sure, I don't know. Why couldn't you be? You're here right now. You're, well, hold on, you're here right now, right?
am I one?
Are you here with us right now?
This isn't my natural.
That's not even, well, I mean, you asked me a question, I'm giving you a logical answer.
I just asked because
I'm not here to pinpoint who is and who isn't alien hybrids. I'm here to give my experiences.
Can I ask you
And
why?
I just want to see what this is about.
Well, it's through your energy. I mean, I can see energy. Have you ever been abducted?
And I'm not on the-
Not at all. That you can remember.
I've never been.
Through your facial structure, through your energy, I can honestly tell you that you have. If you weren't abducted, you wouldn't be here right now. If you weren't special, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Okay? So that right there is my answer to you on why you're here and why you're here with us. I can see through your energy. I can see through the way you're looking at me right now and trying to test my intelligence and what I think. You are a hybrid. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Am I a hybrid?
Not at all.
Hey,
I'm
Paul.
sorry to say that, but not at all. But this young woman right here is. Now, what I want to get to right now, it's okay to have a positive experience, okay? It's okay to have a positive experience, all right? It's okay to have an experience where they take us and they say, hey, listen, you know, we're here to bring peace to the world. We're here to, you know, make things positive. It's all right to have that. I can say that I think humanity is being recycled, and I do. I can say that I believe there's negative beings, and I do, but I also believe in positive beings. So if you have met these positive beings, okay, it's okay to have a positive experience. Now on to that. Alright? Now on to that. Emotions you feel when you've been abducted, alright? Emotions you feel when you've been abducted. Let's start with the host right here. I mean, the host has been doing this for a long time now. Chris, what emotions have you felt when you've been abducted?
Well, the most recent thing that I recalled through hypnosis and dreams was from a missing time. And the person who was doing the hypnosis asked me what was the first time that I had the feeling that I did at that moment, and I said 5. So I know since 5 years old I've been interacting with these beings. But the feeling I had was I was pissed off. I was pissed off, and I could tell that this being knew that I felt this irritation, this anger, and I had interacted with the being before. It was familiar. There were also times where I just knew things that I don't remember having been told. But like anger was definitely one of the primary emotions. Not so much anger, but just irritation, aggravation. I've never really felt scared. I guess I've been lucky. I felt uncomfortable at times. So I'm not I'm not like a Whitley Strieber where it's, like terrifying, why is this happening to me? It was more of like confusion.
Sure. So anyone else, I hear a lot of people chitter-chatting in the back, emotions you felt when you thought you were about to be abducted. When you knew you were laying in the bed, you just couldn't go to sleep, it's 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. Emotions that you felt right before you've been abducted. Anyone? Sorry.
Fear, terror.
Yeah.
Fear, terror. Anyone else?
Sorry, what did you say, sir?
It's
You said sheer
emotions
terror.
that you have, that you felt right before you've been abducted.
I had a flashback where I knew they were in the house.
Sure.
And I backed up against the wall and curled into a ball,
Sure.
terrified.
Sure. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Anytime I feel.
This is the time to shine, okay? I'm not going to be here again, so this is the time to shine. Anyone had any experiences? Go ahead, my friend.
I'm just saying, anytime you have a bad vibration about something, you have to refer back to God and your angels and your guides.
Okay.
It's easy to say just God, that's fine, but there's other phylums under God and God's army that do help you, and I always refer to that. I never had anything bad happen to me. At first, when I had these experiences, you get startled, you get scared. But in the beginning, I didn't know how to handle it, but I was taught to always refer back to that and just have more confidence in God. I know it's easy to say, and it's a simple thing to say,
Sure.
but if you just don't want to count on God, call on your angels and your guides to help you, because everybody has at least 3 or 4 of them. So everybody has their own team up there.
Sure.
You're never alone.
So now you were called to call upon God. Does that put you under the impression that these beings may be negative? Because if they're not negative, what would make you call upon God to protect you if these beings were not negative? What did they come off to you as an intrusional negative type of being, or not?
No, they make me have these out-of-body experiences.
Okay. How does that make you feel?
Well, first your body vibrate like a cell phone vibration. And then
But you called upon God, obviously, so you're calling upon help, filling these situations. So filling these situations, you're calling for help, you're calling for God. Does that make you feel like they shouldn't be doing this? Or, if they should be doing this, why would you call for God?
I always feel that, these are not easy experiences to take.
Absolutely.
So you get scared in the
Absolutely.
beginning. But when you do it a lot of times, as much as I did, you get to learn a lot, and that's what they're doing. They're teaching us. They're teaching us many things that we haven't experienced.
What do you think they're teaching us that we haven't experienced?
They're teaching us how to evolve.
Are they? Do you think that they have the right to teach
I
us
think
how
they're
to?
doing a very bad job.
Do you think that they have the? Hold on now. Do you think that? Do you think that they have the right to teach me how to evolve, or teach you how to evolve, or no?
Don't forget what I said was in the beginning. that there are
Sure.
good aliens and not so.
Well, even with the good ones, I mean, you know, I may be a good parent to my daughter, and I'm a single parent.
Well,
But that doesn't give me the right to say, well, I'm a good parent, I can tell you what to do when I'm, no.
the good
I mean-
aliens are under God and the angels, and they will not harm
So
you.
this is based off a religious belief that you feel comfortable with that helps you with your situation. Absolutely.
I actually agree. Then you can actually like you can feel they're all like someone who are actually definitely they mean harm to you as a human. They consider you as whatever their food, and they have the right to do that.
Fodder.
They're the light ones, and they are the ancient ones who like they have their own agenda who are much beyond the light and the dark evolution, and they don't really they're kind of more like observing. They,
Sure.
they don't really get involved much. They not really.
You know,
They are behind the time and the material.
sure. You know, I have a problem with, I have a problem with,
If
I-
something can harm you, feel it.
I have a problem with the term the ancient ones, and I'm gonna get into that, hopefully we have enough time for that. I have a problem with the ancient ones, you know? The ancient ones are messing with us because we are the ones. Do you all understand this? We all are one universally. Me, her, him, okay? If we live and operate on a conscious vibrational level to be one, we all are one. You know, and I think that I have a really big problem with the ancient ones. You know what I mean? Because we are the ones. We're the ones they want. They want our DNA.
Why do you think they want our DNA?
Well, because they wouldn't be messing with us otherwise.
Well, what do you think they want with it? What
Well,
do they
because
do?
I've heard speculation that they're dying off. I've heard speculation that we're killing our planet.
But if
you know.
if you don't
We
know,
are
how do
killing
you
our
Oh,
know?
I know. You know,
How do you know?
because we're universal. Because we have.
Are we killing our planet?
Because I believe that we have
Are we
plenty
doing
of
that
income.
to air
Okay, go
to
ahead.
each other?
Go ahead.
Are we killing our planet?
No, we're not. We are not killing our planet. God, no, let her get this camera on me. God, we are not killing our planet. We are not. Everyone, stop. Please, respect.
Tons
Let
of
her go.
animals are
Can we start from the beginning?
disappearing
We are
from
killing our
that
planet.
exact
Are we killing our
moment.
planet? Yes.
That is killing our planet.
Can you-
That
can you please
right is
explain-
killing our planet.
Can you
The
explain-
way
can
that
you
we
explain
came
how we're
here
killing
by
our planet?
bus or by transport, that's killing our planet.
Who is us? Who is us as are and we are killing our
Us,
planet? Who's
as
us?
humans.
Are you killing your planet?
Yes, I am.
How are you?
Because I came here
Are you
by
killing your
public
planet?
transport
Are you?
and I used
Are you
gas
killing your planet?
that was from my mother.
Are you killing your planet?
That's
No.
her blood.
Are you killing? Is anyone here killing their planet? You're not killing your planet. No.
I'm not.
I just want to say, we are killing our planet. Where did you get this from? Huh? How am I killing my
How we
planet?
live.
Huh?
How we live.
I live great. I'm a vegan. Okay. I eat healthy. Okay.
And that's
All
it.
right. No. Let me finish. I do my part to for the environment. I do my part in activism. I do my part to educate people who have been abducted because I have been abducted. Okay. I'm productive and I'm positive. So to say that we are killing our planet as a plural, well, that's a little way too abstract. I think that the elitists, the governmentalists who are working with the negative things, okay, the ones who do geoengineering, the ones who do Monsanto and poison our food,
You're taking
they are killing our planet. The people who are asleep and under mass mind control, hold on, the people who are under mass mind control through media, through cartoons with our children, through video games with our children, okay, they are the ones who are controlling us to think that it's you know, so go ahead, no, let her go.
No one is controlling you. It's your choice. No one is ever.
Well, it's not your choice when you don't know. I mean, when you're under mass mind control, how's it your choice?
You have the choice to ask questions. Why do I?
But if you don't know the
You
questions to
have
ask, how can you ask questions if you don't know them questions to ask? This is what I want to know. No, go ahead. You're aggravated at me, and I like that. I love criticism. Okay, so here's my thing. Okay?
You are taking away the responsibility
responsibility for your choices in the hands of some kind of government and think,
All right.
what if it's just an illusion? That is an illusion.
I believe that reality is illusion.
Your
Go ahead.
choice. You're vegan, so am I, and I respect that. That's awesome.
You don't have to
Who did
respect that.
Who made
That's
this
fine.
choice for you? Your government? I don't think so.
They would much rather you eat the fat.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
You
what.
take you can they're like from there is point A and you need to come to point B.
Chris.
How many ways is there to come from A to B?
Sure. Well, my answer to that
There
is
is
this.
unlimited.
If I am mind controlling, and if I understand,
if there is you think there is one line from A to B, that is wrong. There is one. There is unlimited.
Can I jump in here? I think what Paul is getting at is the majority of our society has decided not to choose. They would rather give their power to entities such as the establishment, the government, big pharma, big energy, all them. They would rather give that up so they can watch their American Idol, so that they can eat their cheeseburgers, so they can go home and not worry about anything. They gave up the right to choose. They gave it up because they don't want the responsibility. You're right, we have that choice. People would rather not do that. They'd rather not think about it because it's easier for them to sleep at night to go buy the next thing that they want.
Well, look at it this way.
because they're mentally conditioned to believe this.
Look at it this way.
So because on an individual level, people are mentally conditioned to say, this is how reality is. I mean, me and you understand that reality isn't that way, okay? But they don't, because the powers that control the masses understand how to manipulate the subconscious mind, understand that. So to say that it's a whole humanity's fault is very, very, very wrong. Because what we're dealing with is a few idiots, okay, who understand how the conscious and subconscious works in our pineal gland, in our brains, and understand how to manipulate the masses. So if anyone's wrong for the way things going, it's the people that are in control now. You okay? That's just how I feel, and you're entitled to feel
But
anyway.
there is the light inside everyone, and when we are not following the light and we don't listen to the light that inside everyone,
Sure.
inside, that's when you're making like the choice towards the dark. You always have this free will, and you're the one who makes the choice.
Depends on if you're mind controlled.
Do you think like the government is gonna like send me to? I have the right to say no. I'm not gonna do that. I have the right to say no. I'm not gonna be with you.
But at the same time, if you speak up enough and you're in a position of power, the military can throw you into a federal prison, throw away the key, and you'll never see the light of day again if you make enough noise.
Absolutely.
That has happened. The average citizen is probably not going to have that, but former government and military, they will do that.
They tried that.
Okay, at my last protest, alright, I had the CIA at my last protest. We had 250 people that were supposed to show, we had 50 that showed. Okay, so, when we see this, my friends, when we see this, what do you see? Tell me what you see.
I've seen a picture, I've seen it a million times.
What we see, there you go, thank you. What do you see when you look at this? I mean, we look at this and obviously we see a Mazetta, okay? He has a woman and he's taking her somewhere. What do you guys think when you see this?
I think it's fake and it's not true of any abduction case I've ever heard of.
Well, regardless if this is photoshopped or not, I mean, has this happened in the past?
I've never heard of an alien carrying a woman.
You've never heard of that?
No, never.
Okay,
Not
so-
a gray, especially not a gray.
You've never
I've
heard
never
of that?
heard of a single gray carrying a woman.
Have you ever heard of Grays actually levitating a woman and taking her
Yeah.
somewhere? So you've heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of BS. Well, you've heard of like mental levitation, okay? As anyone else, when you look at this, what do you think? Everyone's quiet. I mean,
I never thought it was
we're here
real.
today. We're here today,
I
and
never
everyone's
thought
quiet.
this particular photo was real.
Well, I don't think he's asking specifically about the photo, but what it's
I'm not asking
representing.
because we got the
Right.
photo, but I mean, do you think intrusion, as far as abductions, has been taking place? I mean,
Of course.
Of course. How do you feel? I mean, do you think free will has been taken when levitation or any mental levitation is taking people out of their body, or no? Is that taking away free will?
I think our perception as human beings is yes, our free will is taken away. But since this phenomenon is so expansive and we don't understand anything about it and we cannot make our own conclusions about it, I don't think we can say yes or no, our free will is taken away. That's my personal.
So because someone knows nothing about abduction, someone knows nothing about extraterrestrial beings, if they take them, it's okay because their perception is too little that they don't know anything. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying we cannot make any conclusions about anything.
Okay. So
Your
that's
brain's-
that.
Part of your brain's turned off.
So that is that.
Therefore,
Okay.
the free will that's commanding your brain to do something isn't reality.
This was actually a photo that was sent to me on Facebook. What
Yeah,
was
I
the
drew
gentleman's
that.
name? Was that you?
I drew
Good,
that.
good, good.
This is part of my
So would you like to stand up?
Well, this is
Stand up.
page.
Can you explain what we're looking at here?
This is page 3 of my comic book. If you go to lovemymink.com, or in a few months, I'll have the actual book published.
Sure.
But
And the-
it's
and
the
the
origin
thing-
of the urban alien.
The thing that I love
Oh,
is
and
that
this isn't actually their skin. This is their spacesuits.
is their skin pink, brother?
No. Well, it's Caucasian-ish.
Okay.
Pasty
So what we
white.
have here is we have people that are asleep, okay? And then we have people that are
So
here.
it's the one kid falling asleep. He's trying to stay awake because he's afraid that he knows.
So which
But
brings
he
me
can't
back.
fight forever, and
Sure.
they're there.
So which begs the question is when
The
they
things in the room that look like monsters as you're falling asleep.
right. When what begs the question is a lot of times when we have been taken, okay, it's usually been right when we're ready to fall asleep. But why? Why? Can anyone tell me why they wait until 3:30, 2:30 in the morning until we go to sleep to actually come and get us?
Perhaps the
Sir.
It has to do with your sleep patterns in your brain.
Okay.
When it's just right and perfect for them, that's when they do.
But why not take us when we're wide awake?
They do.
They have.
Well,
They do.
they do sometimes for certain reasons, but most times they don't want to. They want to try to beat the sleep. Jake tries.
Sure. Sure. Does anyone else have any opinions on anything that's going on? I've seen you at a couple groups. Do you have anything to say about Eleanor? Yeah. Nothing.
He's observing.
Sure. Sure. Anyone else have anything else to say? I mean, why would they rather take us when we're vulnerable, sir?
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I mean, like, I heard recently, depending on what time you go to bed at night,
Sure.
there are more safer times to go to sleep, and there are more dangerous times. Now, if you go to bed early, you're more inclined to have the people
Yeah,
sleep.
of course they want the advantage on you. They want to see what your weakness is and get you at your weakness.
You know, and that's the key word, and this is where I get back to self-empowerment, which I'll get back to. Because they want to take us when we are vulnerable. Chris, what is your take on this?
I understand and appreciate where you're coming from, but I would disagree.
Okay.
I would disagree because what I have seen is they have recognized the emotional impact that these experiences have on the human consciousness, and some beings try to protect your mental state by making the experience as less traumatic as possible. So a lot of them will erase the memory. They will stare into your eyes to make you forget. They will take you while you're asleep, so it is easier to do that, and so you will not remember it. That is what what I've seen in a lot of cases. I'm not saying that's all, but I'm saying in some it appears that they're trying to protect our mental state, so you do not remember these. And I equate this to, I hate the analogy, but bag, tag, and release, excuse me, where I think some of these beings know what's better for us because they may be more spiritually evolved, more emotionally evolved than we are, just like we take an endangered species like a goose or a deer or something. We take it, we capture it, we sedate it, we tag it, we do some testing on it, we release it back into the wild. Does a deer have any clue what the hell just happened?
Yeah, well,
no. Let me finish. So who's to say a more 1,000-year advanced civilization than us couldn't be doing the same type of thing to us, doing whatever manipulation, doing whatever type of experimentation? They're recognizing the impact that they're having, so they try to take that memory away so they don't damage us as a being. That's my take on it, based on my own experiences and research. And as I said, I appreciate where you're coming from. I, from based on mine, would disagree. I'm not saying that's all. That's what I've had.
Sure, and when we look at the abduction scenario and ancient aliens, we look at they have been here for a long, long time.
Right.
And I think that if they are quote unquote that much spiritually enlightened, it wouldn't take 1,000 years to do that. I think, if they've been doing this since the ancient Babylonian times, we've seen the hieroglyphics, we know they've been here. I don't think it would really take that much to do that. Not only that, but if we each have our own individual missions, our individual, when the shit hits the fan, when first contact happens, you're going to have this and I attack on my knee. Oh, I'm awakened. I'm just going to mentally know what to do, and grab my neighbors and say, hey, look, here's a mothership. These are beings that are thousands of years ahead of us. I have to disagree with that because they've been here for a long time. I think that, my own personal opinion, I think that what they're doing is they fear the fact of our third eye, they fear the fact of our subconsciousness, they fear the fact of our free will, and they're desperate, and they're need of our DNA, and they're cowards. And anyone else have anything to say on this?
On what? There's so many of them here. Like that's the
Sure.
whole thing. That each species have their own agenda.
Okay.
There's there's a dragon, there's a reptoids, there are rays, there are zetas, there are Pleiadians.
The Earth is one of the hardest planets
Like
to learn
everyone.
from.
The Earth is the most beautiful planet. Anyone?
Yeah.
Black-eyed hybrids. Anyone? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? I was met by a black-eyed woman. I'm not gonna say child. Okay? So I've been abducted throughout my life. I mean, if you want to hear glorious stories, like I've been abducted and sent through the universe, okay? I've seen other planets, okay? I've seen Mars, and Mars is exactly like Earth is. What do you think? You think I'm correct?
No, I've done that.
Mars is
I've
good.
covered
Well, I'm good that
that.
I'm resonating with someone. Mars is exactly like Earth is, okay? Mars is not this big deserted red planet. Okay? Mars has the sun, it has a blue sky. Mars has everything that Earth has. The sun is a little bit further away, so it doesn't hit us as much. Okay, so I've been on Mars. I've seen it through abductions, if that's what you want to know. Through being in the military and meeting the girl that I've met, all right? And I'm going to tell you about the black-eyed children. They are hybrids. But that begs the question, why are they hybrids? Okay, why did I see this woman? Why are we being poisoned? Why are there chemtrails, which we're going to get into? Why is it this? Why is it that? Why is it this? So we're going to get into that.
Because
As
it's a playground.
I'll tell you what.
Playground.
I'll tell you what.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into the
There's many
hybrid.
races here.
I'm not going to get into the hybrid children. Let's just jump into the black-eyed children. There we go.
There it is.
Look at that. Now, okay, this may strike a little notch with some of you. It may, when I've been abducted, I've seen my son. I've seen my hybrid son when literally September 11th of this year.
How's that make you feel?
It made me feel like he was looking at me saying, "Good job, Dad." But it also made me feel like he was saying, "You're going to be recycled." And it broke my heart. Shit, let's just get into it, because I do things raw. Innocence like.
What do you mean by recycling?
What?
Recycled is the new.
Fine, this is what's going on. When I was in 9/11, I met a guy. I was fucking dead on that fucking table. They were the ones in Miami, okay? Because when I was laying in Miami, I felt every energy come out of me. They put me on the fucking, they put me in the hallway, okay? And they said to me, I don't know, we need to surgery. And I felt every ounce of me drain. And I said, get up, get up, get up. And I got up. They said, we want to put morphine in your veins to kill the pain, okay? I said, I don't want your fucking morphine. They stuck needles. She's a nurse, Barb, over there. They stuck needles this big in my fucking nose, in each side of my nose, to numb me, alright? Then they stuck tubes up my nose to get the blood out because what had happened was the blood was going up in my brain. I was damn near dead. And I heard that voice in my head say, get up! Anybody in the city of Philadelphia who knows me, who thinks, oh, well, this guy's a... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm talking to you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Not only because what we've been through, not only because our abduction experience, because love vibration. These negative beings who take us against our free will, it doesn't matter, okay? These parasites who are in office, it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. What matters is that we get together and we understand how the conscience works and how if enough of us is to get together and if enough of us produce enough energy to where we want to produce change, we can do it. And we're going to get, any questions before I get to another slide?
Can you explain what is your understanding of consciousness?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, sorry.
Can you explain what is your understanding of consciousness?
What?
Consciousness.
Consciousness is basically how you perceive things, okay? So if I look at this right here, I say, well, this is a radio, all right? What do we have here? What do we have here? This is a radio, right? This is my consciousness says this is a radio, all right? But the thing is that the people who control the world, they want us consciously to say, this reality, this is all that is. This is a radio. This is a screen. This is a magazine, okay? This is all that is. So my perception of consciousness is that, okay, this is what they say this is, but what is other than that, okay? What is other than what they think is? This may be a radio in front of my face, but if I plug this in, what happens? We hear music. If I plug this in, we hear other frequencies. If I turn the channel, we hear other channels, okay? So you may say consciously, you may say, this is all that is, right here, right now. But when I plug this bad boy in, what do we have? Unlimited channels, unlimited possibilities, and that is what I want to install on all of you. Unlimited possibility, okay? So just because you have been abducted, you're shaking your head. I can feel your head.
I'm just grabbing.
Come on, no,
I mean, I know what you're talking about, dude.
Unlimited possibilities is what we have, okay, my friend? So you may say, hey, go with plan A, that distracts me from plan B. That is how I feel about consciousness. Any other questions? Nothing else? So we're going to go...
In regards to the hybrids,
Sure. Well, I'll get back to you. Go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
me?
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about what humans do with like fertility clinics? You know, up to 600 to 1,000 babies,
Well,
or to like one father per average. You don't think they're keeping track of the inevitable the probabilities of inadvertent or accidental incest?
I don't think anyone
How's that
has.
gonna
I don't
affect
think anyone
everything?
has the right to play God. I think that we, all of us. I think the most
Maybe
gratifying,
they're aliens too.
the most gratifying, and the most best knowledge I've ever got from any being was we are all one with all that is one. And what that means is some people may have their different, views and religions and all, but we are all one with all that's one. And that being said, I think that no one has the right to play God. I mean, people say the reptilians are master genetics. Okay, they're master geneticists. That doesn't give them the right to screw with souls. Okay, that doesn't give them the right to screw with vibrational energy.
But just knowing they don't have the right.
Well, they should be held accountable for it, okay? That's why we have these meetings. That's why we need to get in front of Congress. That's why we need to get out in front of the White House. That's why we need to put our foot up their butts and expose these underground bases and expose these experiments.
Wow.
Because they don't have the right to play God, okay? Now everybody,
You have to
You
capture
just said the
something.
word soul.
what I'm gonna show
Do we even
you.
need the government?
Is
That's
everybody
my
okay?
question.
Is everybody okay with it?
No.
Is everybody, Chris, is everybody okay with that? What I'm going to show you is photographs that I've actually taken from the media. Now, when we all look at the New World Order, or we look at what's going on in the world. Why doesn't the media, excuse me, sir, is everyone okay over there? Because I'm speaking. So, alright, so now, we all look at the media, we all look at the New World Order, we all look at why isn't the media covering full disclosure and stuff like that. These are pictures that I took myself of Fox News reporters, okay? So, now, we're going to zoom in her. Woo, Chris, can we zoom into this? Where's Chris? Right, what are you doing, Chris? Right. Can I zoom in here? Alright. No, that's not where I want to go. Let's go back here. Alright, there we go. So, when we look at her eyes, alright? If anyone has problems seeing, they may want to, come up close to see what's going on. I took this picture myself. Alright? She's from the media, Fox News.
Yeah.
See the slit in her eye?
Yep.
Does anyone see this?
Yeah.
I'm up close. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. There we go. Even better. Even better. Come see what's going on. Everybody, no, seriously, come on up. Anyone who cannot see this, please come up right now and look at this. I took these pictures myself from my house. Come on, everybody, wake up. Can you see? Look at her eyes. Can you see? Please, everyone. I'm inviting everyone. Please come in and see her eyes.
It's a little blurry, but it's some kind of.
Yes. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh, there's no trance. There's no trance there. Absolutely.
It looks like a
That
chance.
picture looks like
No, go ahead. Take a peek. Take a peek of what we're looking for. Or whatever you want to. Do you see the slits in her eyes? Now, I was giving this third eye vision, by the way, from positive beings who have contacted her. Alright? This right here has been banned from Facebook 3 times until I literally had to post it more than that. Oh, we got more pictures than this. You guys ready? We've got more than this. Hold on. This gentleman's name right here is Chris O'Connell. Alright? You got this slit here, and you have this slit here. Okay? I took this personally from my house. Alright? That's Chris O'Connell from Fox News. Oh, let's see. Well, we don't want to see her. But there he is. I think this guy's name is Jeff Cole or Nick Cole. Now, what I'm going to show you is when you see this scan, you see the little face right here. Look in the middle. Do you see that? Do you see that? Now, look right here. Do you see that? We are not alone, my friends. What you are looking at right now is 100% proof that reptilians do exist and they live among us. Okay? You will not see that anywhere else other than here. How much time do we have, Chris?
We should be good till about 8:30. Then I want to just do a real general Q&A.
Thing, so I mean,
okay.
How much time do we have left?
Well, did anyone here specifically want to hear about chemtrails?
Does anyone want to hear about geoengineering? Oh, matter of fact, hold on. Let me turn off the lights.
Yeah, I'd like to get into it a bit if you could.
Yeah, come on, wake up, everybody. What is that? Is that my imagination? Am I crazy? Are we crazy abductees, or are what we are looking at reality? Look at that. I took this from my house. Is that right there? As a matter of fact, when we go back to the other pictures, okay? Hold on. Do you see this black line right here? Yeah. You see that? What that is, that's my phone. You know how you plug your phone in when you're charging your phone? Okay? That's my phone charge plugging him in. Because as I'm watching the news, I'm literally, it's hard to explain when you enlighten yourself, when you raise your vibration enough to a frequency to where your third eye is awake and you can see shit like this, okay? That's why I talked to the young lady here. She goes, oh, am I Harvard? I said, absolutely. Alright? Now, you can see things like this. So this right here, I mean, can you guys see this? Mm-hmm. Alright, good. So, I mean, anyone who wants to take pictures, if you want me to shut the lights off, who has camera phones here? Anybody, because I want to really get this out. If you want to take pictures of this, I'll shut the lights off and you guys can like Snapchat or whatever you want to do with this, but
How much time would you need to give
I
like
only
a
need
summary
about
of
30
chemtrails?
minutes as far as the chemtrails.
All right, I say we launch into that to wrap it up, and then we can just. I think we should clear out around. I think 9. I think we have to, so that'll give us time for just general Q&A.
Do what we do and see what's going on. Because I love the fact, and I say this with everyone here, I don't want you to agree with everything I say. Okay? Don't believe I've been abducted by aliens. Don't believe I know about love vibrations. Don't believe I know about energy. Okay? Think I'm total bullshit. Right now. I want everyone to go home right now and say, this guy is total fucking bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
No, I want you to go home and think that.
Why?
I now said I'm completely crazy and I'm out of my mind. That leaves room. That leaves room for one of the most important lessons tonight. Okay?
Can I ask you, how did you know that you were on Jupiter? Did you like did someone telepathically told you that, or like you just knew, or?
Well, that's kind of like saying, well, I knew that I was abducted in front of, like, I was in front of a being who was like, you know, you just know. You know where you're at.
Okay.
On a subconscious level, you know where you're at. So,
That's all.
so basically, I want you all to think I'm crazy for one thing. And I'm going to shut the lights off for this because I want you all to
It's not good that you go
You see this?
around
Good.
assuming
I
that
want you
we
to
all
see it.
think
Well,
you're
actually,
crazy.
no, I want you all to see one thing. Okay? Self-empowerment. Alright? If you don't take anything home today from what I've given you, take home one thing. Self-empowerment. Because if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm full of it, then you basically owe it to yourself to empower yourself to find better. Then you owe it to yourself to go home and look for answers that I'm not giving you. If you think I'm not enlightened, if you think I'm full of crap, if you think people that have spoken here are full of crap, then go home and enlighten yourself and empower yourself. So this is probably going to be the closing point on this interview. I love and light to every single one of you who's in here today. No matter what the world throws at us, just remember.
Same here.
Thank you, brother. No matter what the world throws at us today, remember that love is key and it's the highest vibration in the universe. There's going to be a lot of people that try to say otherwise, but thank you so much. And